Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gold Mining Skill Building Circle video series. I have here with me Carter Lipnick, who is talking to us about the shielding process. In the previous video, Carter told us about what the shielding process is and what it does for us. In tonight's video, we will dive deep into the practical aspect of it and how we can actually apply it. So Carter, would you like us to lead us to the process of how we could practice the shielding process?
Absolutely. Thank you, Shirin. Carter, Spunky Cougar. Tonight we're going to work on how do we actually enact that shield and what does that look like? And let's get after it. We're going to create an energetic shield or barrier that is internally permeable, meaning whatever I send out can still go out and doesn't reverberate in. But what is sent to me doesn't land and impacts me and my aura. So the way we're going to do that is to visualize a golden egg around us. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. So I'm going to invite you to sit once again with a nice tall straight spine. Maybe let your eyelids hang heavy. Notice where your hands want to go and let them go there. Just take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. Come to your place of center and stillness. Imagine a golden egg surrounding you. From about 9 feet around you in each direction. Let it be a white golden light, like the sun or the sand or light shimmering off water. Let it be charged. Let this energy be charged and full and moving, like the waves in the ocean with light shimmering on top. Let the inside of your egg fill up too if it hasn't already. And you're invited to hang out in this space for as long as you want. This is our shield right here. And what this is going to do as energy gets sent out to you, the vibrational state is high enough that it won't get through and it will melt it, transmute it. And the way to practice this is to practice it. Because the thing about a shield is when you need it, you don't want to have to think about how do I do this. You want to just call it in. And that takes practice and work beforehand. So it's really important to spend some time to hone this in. So when I'm at that family dinner and I'm feeling aggravated, I can just call it in. I don't have to think about it.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Carter. For me, I was visualizing, and I'm a huge fantasy fiction fan. So I've seen a lot of the Rings and the Witcher. So I was thinking about that shield that I see so often in these fantasy world movies. I have a quick question, Carter. If this practice, I practice this now in a state of quiet meditation with my eyes closed. Is this the only way to practice it? I'm asking because if I'm out in the same example at a family gathering or function with people around me where I don't have the opportunity to close my eyes and recluse myself physically, how would I go about creating a shield in that situation?
Yeah, great question. So I would say it's like muscle memory. And doing it with the eyes closed and quiet and calm at first is how we start to build that muscle memory. And then maybe I do it while I'm walking somewhere in my car or having an argument or like a maybe heated but not too bad like thing with a friend or girlfriend or whoever. And just the more you practice, the more muscle memory you're going to get, and the easier and easier and easier it is going to be to call in when you do need it.
Carter, thank you for bringing that awareness in. I resonate that with that a lot too, because there are so many practices and skills that I've learned and I don't remember to use them except when I'm in my shower and I'm like, oh man, that would have been really cool to say or use in the altercation 2 weeks ago. So are there any practices that you use to help you remember to use the shield process when you need it?
That's a really good question. Not that I necessarily use, but I'll share two things. One time someone shared with me that they would wear a bracelet. And when they looked at their bracelet, it was their reminder to breathe, that they would meditate with the bracelet, and it was this intentional thing for their breath. And so when they saw it, it brought them into their muscle memory. So maybe having some sort of physical reminder that if I know I'm going into a hostile place or something, I could have a crystal or this or that I've done this meditation practice with, that I see it, I have it in my pocket, a physical reminder can be supportive.
That is beautiful. I love it. We can Pavlov train our mind into remembering stuff. That is excellent.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is, in my world of energy healing, my understanding, my beliefs, time is irrelevant. And so if I'm in that shower and I'm like, shoot, I really should have used that shielding process last night at family dinner, I might go into meditation, envision myself at family dinner during that whole conflict. And right before, I'm going to imagine the shield on myself. And then I'm going to imagine the shield on myself through that whole thing. And then after some. And then just bring that shift of imagining like, okay, I just brought this shield through. I'm going to now bring this energy from then to now. And just let that, I don't need to know what I'm doing. I'm just going to let my higher self bring that energy from then to now come through. And that's going to shift a lot. That's going to shift a whole lot. And that's really powerful, because that is you want to talk about practicing using the shield more. Practice it in your meditation by thinking back to different times in your life when you wish you had a shield, and give it a try and imagine you putting your shield on through that time when you needed it, and see what that does, how that feels.
That is beautiful and fascinating. Thank you for sharing that, Carter. That is a huge shift of perspective for me, because my mindset up until this point has been, oh, that time has passed, the moment's gone. But what I'm hearing is that I still have that opportunity to, yep, let's go back in time and process and address and give attention to whatever needs attention in my head and complete it, and I can still do it. So I might give it a whirl in my next shower tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, that's kind of what we do in men's work. A lot of times it's like, okay, what was the core of this? Let me go back to that and address what is going on at the root. And this is a way to go back to that time. And the only difference is I'm doing it through a more energetic, maybe more esoteric way than the emotions that are present and live now. Instead of dealing with them and following their root back, it's a way to try it differently. A science experiment. The way we do science experiments is to see how I'm feeling, try something out, see what I notice.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And I love the connection with the men's work, because that is true. Often I have wondered, my work with the men's circle has felt like almost like a time travel, going back in time and readdressing things that were from my past. So I love that analogy. Thank you for bringing that in. So Carter, tonight you talked to us about what is the shield process and how we can practice it. And I appreciate your time and sharing your knowledge with us, and for the beautiful examples and reminders, and tips and tricks that we can use to remember to use the shield process when we need it. Thank you all for joining us tonight. In the next video, we will be talking about how we can strengthen the shielding process that we learned tonight. So tune in, and see you guys in the next video. Thank you, Carter.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shirin. Blessings.